a lot of people from wanting to become an entrepreneur is the fear of sales. I mean, if you're a solopreneur, you're going to have to make sales, right? And how do you do that? Especially if you are an introverted, you're shy, or you're afraid of making sales. Hey, I'm Don Downs of RB Business Coach, and today we're going to talk about that topic. And I get it. I'm shy, I'm an introvert, and I really don't like rejection. I mean, I graduated from college with a degree in electrical engineering. I double majored in electrical engineering and computer science. So yeah, engineer, introvert, you got it. You know the difference between an introverted engineer and an extroverted engineer. Introverted engineer looks at his shoes when he's talking to you. Extroverted engineer looks at your shoes when he's talking to you. And that's pretty much the mold I was in. So how do we overcome that and get to where we can actually make sales conversations? Because the idea of making sales is really, really scary, right? Well, here's the thing. It gets a lot easier if we reframe the way we think about sales. So we have to make some mental adjustments to how we think about going about sales. Let's take a look at a quote from Michael Port from Book Yourself Solid. He says, all sales start with a simple conversation and are executed when a need is met and the appropriate amount of trust is assured. Again, all sales start with a simple conversation and are executed when a need is met and the appropriate amount of trust is assured. So let's break that down a moment. The sales start with a conversation. Now, even us introverted shy guys can have a conversation, right? We're not going to have a conversation with every stranger we meet on the street. You know, introverts typically have a few very close friends. Extroverts, you know, they're the kind of people that go out to eat dinner and they make 10 friends between their table and the restroom. So that's not us introverts. We need a little bit of time to build relationships. But when we do, then we're able to have conversations, especially if they're non-threatening conversations. Now, the sale is executed, as the person buys, when their need is met. So again, we're back to the philosophy of your business is here to serve people. We're figuring out what people's problems are, how we solve those problems, and how we can remove their pain. So they have a need, and we're willing to meet that need. So we have that piece covered. And then when the appropriate amount of trust is assured. As I was saying, that's a little bit easier on us introverts because we want to have trust before we go into the conversation anyway. Now, most of us have had really awkward sales conversations, either on the giving end or on the receiving end. I mean, I remember growing up when I was in high school, having to go door to door and sell stuff to raise money for the band. And it was not a lot of fun for me. And I look back on it and I go, well, here's the problem, right? Is the need being met? Do you really need a cheaply made candle? Probably not. Maybe we're meeting the need of you being able to help out the local band. That might be a little bit of a stretch. And how much trust was assured? Well, with my close neighbors, yeah, there's trust, right? I knew they were going to buy because they were kind of obligated to. The strangers, not so much. And so most of the rejections came when I was knocking on doors of people that I didn't know. So that need probably wasn't being met, and the trust certainly wasn't built in a lot of cases. Think about another example. You ever pulled into a car dealership and, you know, before you get your seatbelt unfastened and the door open, there's some guy standing there in his plaid jacket with slime dripping off of him. And as soon as you're out of the car, he's telling you, I want to earn your business today. I have no idea what that means. You know how you earn my business? You earn my trust. And you know how you earn my trust? You listen to my needs and you talk to me, and you don't make it obvious in the first 10 seconds that I'm a transaction to you, that all you want to do is make this sale with me and move on to the next client. There's absolutely no trust there. And I think that's why these conversations are so awkward and so difficult for us to experience. But if we wrap our mind around this methodology here, that the sales starts with a simple conversation, it's executed when a need is met and when the appropriate amount of trust is assured. So we really want to build that level of trust. Speaking of trust, Michael Port also says sales offers must be proportionate to the amount of trust you've earned. So the more effort we put into building that trust, the more substantial offer we can make to our clients. So if you build a lot of trust, you can make a higher priced offer. Have no trust, then you're pretty much stuck making low price offers. And the other thing we can do to help with sales is focus on the client. You know, if we're afraid of rejection, we're really focused on us. And we don't want to do that. We want to focus on the clients. What are their needs? What are their problems? What's their pain that we're trying to solve? And let's focus on that and it takes the pressure off of us. And finally, we want to not sell. Don't sell. Offer to solve a problem instead. Big mindset change, but you're not there to sell your thing. You're there to help the client, and you make an offer to help the client. And this is really big because when you do this, that whole rejection piece just goes away. If they turn you down, which they will from time to time, but if they turn you down, you'll actually end up feeling bad for them that they missed out on the opportunity to solve their problem, rather than feeling like you were rejected. And, you know, all those feelings of self-worth and stuff don't really come bubbling up. At least this has been my experience. Lots of times I've left the sales conversations when someone turned me down and I thought, wow, I wish I could have made them seem better, how this would help them, rather than me feeling like, oh, they don't like me, they don't want me, they didn't like my stuff. So that focus, again, focus on the client and on solving their need rather than focusing on yourself. So I hope you found this helpful. Sales is a practice that comes, you know, the more you do it, the better you get at it. But thinking of it in terms of this, thinking about meeting the client's needs, helping them solve their problem helps a lot, even if you're shy and introverted. So if you're thinking about creating a business and you're not quite sure what you want to do, or you're still not convinced about the sales piece or whatever, I'd love to sit down and have a conversation with you. You can book a time at chatwithdon.com. This is going to be just an informal chat, get to know each other a little better. Give us an opportunity to build trust with each other. You know, I'm talking a lot about trust here. I can't say, hey, hop on this call and within 30 minutes, I'm going to be trying to sell you something. It's not going to work. So what I do is I offer this 30-minute call. We can get on the call, get to know each other, you know, find out a little bit about what you're thinking, and I can describe a little of what I offer. And then, you know, if it makes sense to work together, we can set up another conversation and go from there. But for starters, let's just have a nice conversation and start building some trust. All right. Hope to talk to you soon. Take care.